look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like gotta be lavish.
Right. Have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. You gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's
Joe Rogan didn't exactly hide his doubts when Floyd Mayweather's real estate claims were mentioned. He leaned forward across the podcast table and bluntly said, "Wait a second. That math just doesn't add up."
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on.
Joe Rogan questioned the entire story around Floyd Mayweather Jr., saying he supposedly owns dozens of buildings worth tens of millions, while emphasizing that flashy claims and verified assets are two very different things.
Money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell though.
And that's where the conversation heats up, because Floyd Mayweather Jr. built the entire Money Mayweather persona around the idea of limitless wealth, piles of cash, luxury watches, and a financial empire that seemed untouchable. Yet, reports circulating in the business world suggest a much more complicated reality.
Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is, or has been, a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s commercial properties have already faced foreclosure, and there were even reports that his Las Vegas strip club building was at risk of being seized over unpaid property taxes. Add to that lawsuits alleging unpaid luxury watch and jewelry bills, which Floyd has disputed, And suddenly the conversation shifts from bragging rights to financial scrutiny.
Things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million.
The outlet also reported that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos were temporarily seized for unpaid taxes before being returned after payment, while a massive $54 million loan reportedly used his homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether exaggeration or misunderstanding, the gap between these reports and the money image has definitely fueled debate. Joe Rogan's skepticism about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial empire had already stirred the conversation. Then Chael Sonnen jumps in, grabbing the discussion with zero subtlety, essentially saying, "Why are we even pretending this is shocking?"
That. And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? And it's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
He literally flips the question back on the audience, saying, if you wake up and go to work every week because you need money, why would it suddenly be strange for a boxer to keep fighting for the same reason? I'm sitting here thinking, that's peak Chael logic, half brutal honesty, half troll energy. But he doesn't stop there. Chael starts dismantling the mythology around boxing paydays, pointing out that the billion-dollar earnings numbers and gigantic pay-per-view claims often come from press releases rather than publicly confirmed financial records, noting that nobody from the company actually processing the pay-per-views has verified those absurd figures. That line alone throws a grenade into years of boxing hype narratives.
A gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Chael isn't just roasting Floyd Mayweather Jr., he's roasting the entire sport's financial storytelling. Then he pivots into the contract chaos, pointing out how Floyd announcing multiple fights around the supposed Tyson matchup would drive any promoter insane. In the fight business, timing and exclusivity are everything, and that's where the irony hits hard. Chael notes Floyd accusing Showtime of shady business practices.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And, yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be...
While critics accuse Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s own promotion of similar confusion with Logan Paul, the narrative suddenly becomes a hole of mirrors where everyone assumes someone else is the villain. Yet here's the funny contradiction Chael unintentionally highlights. People can question Floyd's finances, doubt the paydays, argue about contracts, or roll their eyes at exhibitions. But the second Mayweather's name appears on a fight poster, the entire combat sports world still stops and pays attention.
Owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, but
Chael Sonnen had already thrown gasoline on the whole Floyd might be broke conversation. Then Jason Whitlock and the panel jump in, and the discussion quickly turns into a full-blown round of financial detectives. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, we've officially gone from fight analysis to forensic accounting with boxing gloves on. Whitlock kicks things off by leaning into Shannon Sharpe and Oasis's theory that Floyd unretiring is basically about chasing a massive payday. The moment names like Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, and Terence Crawford get thrown around, you can feel the business angle immediately. Shannon notes these are the only fights that could generate the kind of money Floyd might want. That's not speculation. It's basically the celebrity super fight menu. Then Whitlock jumps in with a Rocky movie reference, asking, "Why do you fight?" And suddenly the conversation turns philosophical in the funniest way possible.
Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no.
Because, Floyd built an entire brand around the idea that money equals success, literally transforming from pretty boy to money. Jason Whitlock points out the brutal irony. When your entire image is built on wealth, any rumor about financial trouble becomes a headline hurricane. Then Dre adds a more grounded angle, saying, the real issue isn't what Floyd earned. It's what we don't know about liquidity, assets, liabilities, taxes, lifestyle. Basically, the financial iceberg beneath the flashy Instagram photos. Meanwhile, the panel tosses in jokes about gamblers going broke, IRS bills, and luxury spending, making Floyd's career look less like a victory lap and more like a complicated puzzle. Yet here's the part that makes me laugh. While half the panel questions the logic of watching a nearly 50-year-old fighter step back into the ring, the other half quietly admits what every fight fan knows deep down. If Floyd Mayweather Jr. actually announces a fight with someone like Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, or even Manny Pacquiao again, everybody arguing about it now will still be watching when the bell rings.
$1 billion, and he's 47 years old, and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't.
Jason Whitlock and the panel had already turned the Floyd comeback story into a financial courtroom drama. Then Andre Ward slides into the conversation, and the tone shifts immediately, from hot take speculation to fighter-level reflection. That contrast hits differently. Ward opens by reminding everyone he's always respected Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s work ethic, and I'm nodding because that often gets lost when people focus only on the flash. Ward points out that the glitz, the cars, the jets, all of it was part of the Mayweather brand. But underneath, there was always a gym rat who never skipped the grind. When Ward admits he's torn about this comeback, you can feel the honesty. He's not attacking Floyd like the rumor mill has been. He's saying something deeper. Boxing becomes part of your identity, and the adrenaline, attention, and massive fight night checks create a feeling that regular life can't replicate.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing. It was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think that he could.
That's the kind of insight only a former champion can deliver. Then Ward pivots to the Pacquiao rematch, and suddenly the analyst in me wakes up again. He points out something interesting. Older fighters sometimes create more action because they can't rely on constant movement like they once did. Less foot speed, more exchanges. That idea alone flips the narrative people keep repeating about this fight being automatically boring. But the tension Ward keeps circling back to is the real danger of age. your mind still thinks you're the same fighter while your body quietly disagrees. That line alone explains half the tragedies boxing has ever seen. Yet, even while Ward admits he'd prefer both legends relaxing on a beach somewhere enjoying retirement, he also admits curiosity wins again. Because when two icons with unfinished history step back into the ring, the entire fight world watches, whether we plan to or not.
Watch a fighter. He'll say he don't watch him, but he'll watch any potential opponent over and over and over. And he has to process, can he do anything with me? How does my skill set line up with his? Can I beat him? The problem with being 49 years of age is sometimes your brain can see things and tell you things that your body's not in agreement with. That's the problem with age. Your brain is still saying, I'm him. Your brain is still saying, man, I'm Money Mayweather. Man, these youngsters can't deal with me. But your body is saying, brother, we can't do it like that.
And when you step back and look at this whole situation from a distance, it honestly feels like four completely different realities colliding at once. Joe Rogan is questioning the financial empire narrative. CHA Sonnen is tearing apart the mythology of boxing paydays. Jason Whitlock's panel is dissecting the business and lifestyle side of the story. And then Andre Ward steps in with the fighter perspective, reminding everyone that this sport gets into your DNA in a way money alone can't replace. One side of the debate says Floyd's comeback is about chasing another massive payday. Another side says the financial rumors are exaggerated gossip. Ward's take quietly reminds us that sometimes fighters return because the spotlight, the competition, and the adrenaline are things normal life just can't replicate. That's the real tension here. Legacy versus longevity, business versus passion. And whether people believe Floyd Mayweather Jr. is chasing money, history, or just that feeling of being Money Mayweather again, the truth is the conversation itself proves his influence because everyone is debating, arguing, and analyzing every angle of this comeback. That's exactly the gravitational pull legends have on the sport.
That's the struggle and that's the danger of coming back at this age. So part of me wants to see these guys continue to make money. Part of me wants to see these guys, how do they do it at this age? Man, show me something. Show me how your mind can overtake the deficiencies you may have in your body at your age. But the deeper part of me, man, I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on a beach somewhere, living off the fruits of their labor, helping the game however they see fit to help the game, and just watching the next generations do what they do. But hey, we got to fight September 19th.
Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s return is about money, love for the sport, or unfinished legacy business with Manny Pacquiao? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it.